She was back in a wheelchair. She told her oncologist that if she walked at all, the pain would last the entire day. I asked Dr. Susan Sensor to hold the vincristine, that I had read that given vincristine, given further doses with this much pain, could lead to permanent, lifelong pain. Dr. Sensor told me that she thought that the pain could be from all of the vitamins that I was giving to Sarah.
Oh, really?
She would not hold the vincristine. I believe that these doctors were so upset with us for questioning their treatment that they were willing to do anything to hurt us, including hurting our child. Why else would a doctor cause a child pain? There was no sign of cancer. This was months into her chemo schedule. There was no reason to risk lifelong pain in her ankles and feet. Then I found an oncologist in Arizona who agreed with me about neuropathy, which is the foot pain. They call it neuropathy. He agreed with me that that was what was causing her foot pain, that it was caused by vincristine. He said, of course this is what's causing her foot pain. It's the most common side effect. Why would anyone say that? He said, you need to switch to a friend of mine. She's right in your town. She's at Children's Hospital in Minneapolis. Her name is Dr. Susan Sensor. She's my go-to girl. I recommend everyone go to her. It's going through something like this. She specializes in alternative treatments also. He didn't know what to say when I told him it was Dr. Susan Sensor who went stop the vincristine and who told me that she thought it was the vitamins causing the neuropathy. He was speechless. Finally, after the involvement of 2 out-of-state oncologists, I sat down with Dr. Sensor alone in her office. It seemed to bother her that Sarah was afraid of her. She told me that I had to tell Sarah that the chemo was good for her, that it was helping her. The court they like to try to order us to not say anything bad about chemo. I told Susan that nothing she would ever say to me would convince me that chemo was good, and I was not about to start lying to my daughter. I told her that she wasn't bad, that I wasn't bad, but we disagreed on how to treat cancer. Then she said to me, Karen, she said, your daughter is beautiful and delightful and smart and funny. I interrupted her and I said, Susan, if she were ugly, would you let me stop the chemo? This was the day that she allowed us to stop the vincristine. I remember her reaching across and touching my knee and saying, Karen, I'm trying to help you. I had a sense that it wasn't her. There were powers behind her. Eventually, the team of doctors did start to meet to discuss Sarah's case. Then Dr. Sensor agreed to let us out of the last 3 rounds of chemo. She made a call to our general doctor, and this was documented. She told Sarah and I in clinic on January 28th that the chemo was done. I remember this very clearly because it was my birthday, and what a birthday gift. Our CPS social worker told me that it was done. Then the oncologist from South Carolina called and told me it was decided that we would be allowed to stop. Then we got a call. The attorneys at Children's had overturned the doctor's decision. The doctor was not allowed to choose treatment for her patient. We were hauled back into court, and a judge was told that we did not show for a chemo admit. They lied to cover their tracks. They falsified Sarah's chart, which later I found stated that we talked about the side effects of vincristine, when really the vincristine had been stopped several months earlier. There was no talk of pain in her ankles because she no longer had pain in her ankles. The judge threatened to take Sarah away from us that day based on lies that he was told. We didn't bring any proof of the evidence of what happened because it didn't occur to us that we would need to. It was a huge blessing that my husband is Native American because the tribe behind us kept our daughter from being taken away from us. Everyone agreed that without that Native American blood flowing through her veins, she would have been pulled from our home. Not every family has that. if she had been taken away